Hey, I'm Anthony Cafiero, solution engineer here at Sigma, and today I'll be walking you through the Sigma art of the possible. Before we jump into the demo, I want to anchor on what makes Sigma fundamentally different. At Sigma, the warehouse is the heart. We query your cloud data warehouse live, no extracts, no replication, no secondary storage. Governance is guaranteed at the source, and flexible data models allow you to operate at enterprise scale. Second, we enable true self-service. The spreadsheet interface, SQL, and even Python support and agentic AI dramatically lower the barrier to building and exploring ungoverned data. And third, workflow and AI finish the job. This isn't just dashboards. We support right back via input tables, workflows via actions, AI query, AI builder, and that's how we move from insight to execution. Most organizations today run critical processes, forecasting, planning, reconciliation, pipeline management across disconnected systems. Spreadsheets don't scale, SaaS tools are siloed, custom development work is expensive, and legacy BI tools lack the workflow and write back. Trade surveillance is no different. Alerts may live in one system, trades in another, communications in another, case management somewhere else. But what teams need isn't another dashboard. They need a governed operational layer on top of the warehouse. A Sigma AI app brings all these pieces together. First, write back. Governed data entry directly into the warehouse through forms, spreadsheets, scenario modeling, or AI-assisted updates. Second, app layouts. Structured UI components that guide users through workflows, including approvals, reviews, and case progression. And third, actions and workflows. Triggers and effects that allow us to initiate the next steps, escalate, call APIs, or dynamically change the experience. So instead of insight living in a dashboard and action living somewhere else, everything operates in one governed workflow. And with that context, what I like to show you now is how all of this comes together in a real-world trade surveillance workflow, from alert generation to AI-augmented investigation to escalation and form case creation, all built directly on the warehouse. We start on the alert queue. This provides an overview of alerts generated from suspicious trading activity, spoofing, layering, wash trades, market and close, and more. Each alert shows the type, severity, AI score, and a short explanation of why it was fired. This allows analysts to quickly prioritize based on risk and impact. Let's go ahead and open one. Before diving into the raw tables, we land on the alert glance. This page surfaces high-level KPIs and abnormalities such as order to cancel ratio, the venue dispersion, volume to historical baseline, time clustering, and even some pattern similarity. AI highlights abnormal metrics immediately so that the analyst doesn't need to calculate ratios or manually compare to history. In seconds, they understand whether this alert structurally looks suspicious. Now we can move into a deeper investigation. We start with a more structured trade activity, our orders, cancels, executions live on top of the warehouse. Here, AI has already performed pattern analysis on the trade sequence. It flags behaviors like elevated cancel ratios, layered price levels, end-of-day concentrations, and venue dispersion abnormalities. Instead of manually scanning for abnormalities, the analyst immediately sees where behavior breaks from expectation. Seen by the red highlight on our line chart here, we can immediately see the trading activity that is flagged as suspicious. Next, we review the communications, chat, email, or voice transcripts. Here, AI applies sentiment and intent analysis and identifies aggressive tone, coordination language, urgency, or references to market impact. This helps determine whether the communication context supports or contradicts the trading behavior. And finally, we can move on to the combined timeline. This aligns trades and communications chronologically. AI performs correlation analysis, identifying when communication events precede or coincide with suspicious trade activities. For example, our coordination language followed by rapid cancels or execution bursts. This transforms isolated signals into defensible behavior narrative. Now we can open up a Sigma agent, which is going to help us perform our next steps. This agent doesn't just summarize, it can also take action. It can generate structured investigation commentary, can capture analyst notes directly into write-back tables, it can even trigger escalation workflows or call external APIs. Because it's extensible through warehouse agents and MCP, you can even integrate it with internal systems, compliance platforms, modeled retraining pipelines, or notification frameworks. This turns AI from passive analysis into operational execution layer. Here we're going to go ahead and ask the agent to summarize our sentiment on the communications and have this captured in the next form we're about to create. Now let's go ahead and move on to the disposition page. Notice the summary here is all AI generated, structured, concise, regulator-ready. It takes everything we've seen so far and compiles it into one concise summary. The analyst can add additional commentary or even override fields. And when this is submitted, everything writes directly back to the cloud data warehouse. Here we have a few options. We can either close this as a false positive, we can escalate the issue, or we can open a case. Let's go ahead and escalate this for further review. This is going to route the alert to the surveillance manager for approval. Now if we head back to the home page, the alert queue here, we're going to switch perspectives. The manager now is going to see the full trade and communication context. She's going to click on the alert that is now sitting in escalation stage. We'll have a view of the AI generated summary, which we just saw, the analyst commentary, and complete audit trail. The manager has a slightly expanded view, including prior workflow inputs and approval authority. They can further review, disposition the alert, and open a formal case. When they do this, a pixel-perfect report is automatically generated, suitable for submission into a compliance system. Again, fully governed and written back to the warehouse. What we saw today was built directly on top of your cloud data warehouse, a live connection with no data extraction. We inherited all the governance directly from your warehouse and accelerated the development via spreadsheet-like native experience. AI-driven analysis, sentiment, and correlation analysis helped speed our analysts along in developing and investigating and dispositioning our alerts. And our extensible agent layer via warehouse agents and MCP, it allows us to automate part of our action. In total, we have a closed loop workflow from alert to formal case. This transforms trade surveillance from a fragmented investigation process into a unified, intelligent enterprise operational platform built on Sigma.